Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, I'm Nabila Adinda Putri from English Education 2019, class Casual Conversation 407. Due to the current pandemic situation, we have to avoid the crowd by staying at home. Surely, many of us spend our time watching television, YouTube, Netflix, watching a lot of videos and movies. In this day, when we hear cursed movie, we will definitely think it's too much. It's just a gimmick. It's just to attract large of audience, right? But actually, the term cursed movies has been around for a long time, and many people believe in the curse of these movies. Usually, movies that are considered the curse are due to a mystical thing, or event, or accident when shooting, or after the movie released. That's why these movies are called cursed movies. In 2020, people were excited about a movie that was said to be cursed, namely Antrum. Apart from discussing the Antrum movie, I will also discuss about several movies which are said to be cursed. So, what are the movies? Check it out! The first is Antrum movie. Actually, this movie has a pretty scary history. Because when it was shown in the Budapest Film Festival in 1988, without any explanation, the cinema where the movie was screened caught fire and caused 56 viewers died. And that tragic incident didn't just happen once. A few years later, in 1993, in San Francisco, at the time of the screening the movie, there was an explosion whose cause couldn't be explained. This accident killed up to 30 people. So, actually, what is the story in this movie? This movie tells the story about brother and sister who are sad because their pet died. Not accepting the death of their dog, they both tried to bring the pet back to life by using a mysterious book they found. While following the instructions from the mysterious book, the dog doesn't live anymore, but instead wreaks havoc on both of them. Because after following the instructions from the mysterious book, they both experience strange events. And after the unfortunate incident, after the screening of the movie was finally stopped. Then the movie was aired again in 2018. Because the original copy of the Antrum movie was hard to find, that's why in 2019, directors David Emito and Michael Loikini made another movie entitled The Deadliest Film Ever Made. That two men removed some of the creepy elements from the original movie to change the stigma that the movie was cursed. And then the movie by two of them was first shown in Japan. From an interview, they both said that in the original Antrum movie, there were some secret parts that only certain audiences could see. It is the secret piece that is believed to cause havoc for anyone who watched it. Then how did the Japanese react there? Because from the beginning it was said, this is a cursed movie that has been released again. Will anyone dare to watch it? The enthusiasm of Japanese was very high. But they consider this movie a joke. They also think the curse is a gimmick to attract the audience. Even on Twitter, there was a Japanese person who said in his tweet, "The Andrew movie was released at the start of the coronavirus. So actually, people who are infected by the coronavirus, who are not lucky, will indeed die during the month of the movie's release." After tracing the Andrew movie, which is called the deadliest movie ever, and has claimed many victims, actually, it's just a gimmick, because there is no clear information regarding the incident of the death of the audience in that two cinemas. But regardless of the gimmick or not, several reviews of the movie and Andrew movie receive a positive response. In my opinion, because this movie broke out in the current year where the technology is already sophisticated, there are many references for people. This is what reinforces that this movie is just a gimmick. But there are several movies that are not actually cursed, but just unlucky. So, what are the movies? Check it out! Who would have thought that a superhero movie with themes heroism, kinship, and hope turned out to be one of the cursed movie? How can? Because this curse was experienced by movie players after the release of the movie. The players of this movie experienced very sad things. Starting from the first production of this movie, the actor who played Superman, George Reeves, died of suicide. Then, few years later, Christopher Reeves, the next generation of Superman cast, fell off the horse and was permanently paralyzed. Actress Margot Kidder has bipolar disorder. Richard Pryor, who played Goose, suffered a bone injury. And the last one, Marlon Brando, who played Jor-El, was obese. Until now, the curse is known as the Superman Curse. It's said that anyone who dares to wear the Superman cloak or interact with whoever is wearing it will have bad luck. 5 movie players have bad luck in a row. Is it coincidence or curse? What do you think? The third is Poltergeist movie. This movie was released in 1982, directed by Tobe Hooper, and produced by Steven Spielberg. This movie is the most successful Poltergeist series, where the plot of the story focuses on family living in California. The family home is attacked by an evil ghost who has kidnapped their daughter. The movie was so successful that it ranked 80th in the Bravo 100 in the category of the most terrifying movie moments. And the Chicago Film Critics Associations put this movie into list of the 20 scariest movie ever made. And Poltergeist is also nominated for 3 Academy Awards. But actually, what makes this movie legendary is the appearance of a curse. This curse is believed to have caused a series of deaths which befooled the cast and crew. Whether it's really cursed or actually dead, 4 Poltergeist casts died after the movie was released. The eldest child actor, named Donna Freeling, died in 1982 at the age of 22 years. The cause of her death was that she was strangled by her ex-boyfriend, and after being in a coma, she died in a few days later. Secondly, Julian Beck, who played the priest in the Poltergeist 2 movie, died in 1985 at the age of 60 years. The cause of the death was because he had fought long enough to fight a stomach cancer that occurred at the time of shooting the second Poltergeist. And finally, he died before the movie was released. The third, Will Simpson, who played Tyler in the Poltergeist 2, died in 1987 at the age of 53 years. 6 weeks before his death, he performed cardiac and pulmonary transpiration. He died from the complication that occurred before and after the operation. And the last one is Heather O'Rourke, who played Carol Ann in these 3 Poltergeist movies, died in 1988 when she was 12 years old. At the first, Heather was told that she just got the common fever, but it turned out that in the girl's body there was an intestinal obstruction. A sad incident by this 4 Poltergeist movie cast that makes people think that this movie is cursed. The fourth is The Omen. This movie tells the story of a demon-incarnated child who is raised by a family United States diplomats. In this movie, everyone who knows that this child is an incarnation of the devil will experience a tragic death. That's the curse in the movie. Unfortunately, this curse also happened to the people who were involved in the making of this movie. One of the dead was Liz Moore, an assistant to a special effects expert who had a serious car accident, and the accident that was experienced by Liz Moore cut off her head. And what made it even more terrifying was that it happened in Friday 13th. And this accident is similar to what happened in the Omen movie. The director named Richard Donner, who is also one of the best directors in America, he is known to never tired of producing movies. But he admits producing the Omen movie is the hardest movie he has ever worked on. He admitted that almost every day he spent producing this movie was a bad day. Many obstacles was occurred. The hotel he was in was bombed. The main cast and scriptwriter of The Omen was struck by lightning twice on their way to the set. The plane that was hired by the movie crew crashed and killed everyone on the plane. The public consider it a miracle, knowing this movie can still be watched in their movie, if they know the obstacles that the director, the movie cast, and even the movie crew go through. So those were some movies that were considered to have curses. Actually, the things experienced by the movie cast, the audience, and the crew in the movie are just coincidence, or it's just a gimmick that producer or the director does to attract the audience. What do you think? Okay, that's all for the video today. Thank you for watching. Bye.